The Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. This is a book I just finished reading recently, and I highly recommend it to geography, history, politics, history students in particular. It's essentially the autobiography of this man here, John Perkins. He was an economist slash consultant who essentially worked on behalf of the US government in an unofficial way for a private contractor. And his job was basically to coerce the leaders of developing nations in the 60s, 70s, 80s to take on what is really bad loans from the US government and US government affiliated organizations such as the World Bank and IMF. So these bad loans were usually used to entrap developing nations in a debt spiral, which allowed the US government to usually come in and dictate domestic policy as well. So really it sort of gives a first-hand perspective of how the US was using or leveraging debt and other tools to propagate its foreign policy throughout the world, especially developing nations during the 60s and onwards. So countries like Panama, Ecuador, Indonesia, Vietnam, Iran, and Saudi Arabia are all detailed in the book because this man, John Perkins, was essentially a contractor who was sent out to each of these nations to basically convince high-ranking military officials and heads of state to accept loans from the US government. Some of them complied, some of them didn't comply. You could probably guess what happened to them. The CIA got involved as well. But this is a really fascinating, interesting book. I think I got through it in less than a week. This is probably the quickest. This is probably one of the books I've read the quickest in a long time. Anyways, comment below any books you find interesting and follow for more stuff like this.